Okay, welcome back YouTube, Arak's Archives. I'm going to start showing these immediately and I'll explain as we go. Just take a look at them, do the best you can. You'll notice that the slab grade has been covered up. So you're looking at 20 of the 30 books that Arak has ever turned in for professional grading. There's a reason for it. Since I was 4 years old and my mother got me to learn to read on comic books, I read every night. A habit that I continue to this day, not always necessarily comic books, but I always read to relax and go to sleep for that evening. But around 1995, I was in Dallas and some guys were hooking up a networked version of Diablo at our company so that we could go up there after hours and enjoy Diablo 1. Great game. So that's where the name Arak was born. And over the course of the next 25 years, I've been extremely vocal about the things that I think will hurt our industry and our hobby. I've seen it firsthand with the speculators. And if you're a speculator, hey, great. I'm not judging. I'm just saying I haven't seen anything good come from those individuals who are only motivated by dollars in this hobby. And like I say in all most of my signatures, I may not agree with your opinion, but I'll fight to the death your right to say it, as probably would any vet who's served this country. So, take a look, do the best you can. Also, leap of faith here for now. Later on I can prove it, just not right now. We're going to have a cracking ceremony. We're going to crack open 20 slabs and remove said comic books. And if we're still under quarantine, well, I promise I'll stick them in the garage out there with some mailing materials and things like that. And I don't know how this one slipped by. I took the bags off all of them. We'll have a great big Texas bonfire out there with the slab material, and we'll cook up some ribs, Texas style, some portobello mushrooms, ice cold beverages, be it tea, beer, whatever, and maybe throw a few corn on the cob on there. Oh God, wait a second. Guess what grade this one is going to be? Yay! So yeah, for the next 25 years, Arak was the voice of, I like to think, truth, because there was no fabricating. It was just simply math. If you pay this much for a comic book, and then you pay this much to ship the comic book. Uh-oh, excuse me, everyone. Sorry. And we're back. Well, my neighbor needed some help and she stalled out her car. I needed a push. And I don't know if I've explained it, but my ward was born with cerebral palsy, my niece. And she has a very weak immune system. And I just can't risk it. I can't risk it at all. So hence the change of clothes real quick and everything, because I have been sequestered in here with her since we made that decision, since I made that decision. Because, what if I accidentally carried it back in, right? Anyway, sorry about that, everyone. Let's continue on. See if we can get the light to be... There we go. That's a pretty nice light. Look at that. Yeah. Okay, And if I've already mentioned this, sorry, I'm going to mention it again. There are no missing pages. Nothing has been cut out of any of these books. They're all here intact. Okay? So this is a fun little exercise. I guess since I'm new to this thing, let me know in the comments. Do I need to offer a prize, to get the opinion of my brethren? All right. Batman, The Dark Knight Falls. Great book. Man. Look at that. Boy, I tell you what. This and The Killing Joke. If two covers really, really, really just kind of represent the 80s. All right, trying to do this as quickly as I can, still be fair, and still make it work. And I think I did that one. Anyway, it doesn't. I guess in the end, it's not going to matter. 25 years ago, like I said, Arak was born. The hacker. Nowadays, you'd want to say penetration testing, white hat, gray hat, black hat, anything hat. Which, just for the record, I love Linux. I love all the security flavors of Linux. I prefer Parrot over Kali. I love Kane. And I've got tons of respect for the Black Arch crew because they probably have every single, you name it. I think they're over 3,000 now as far as apps and useful tools for security and security testing and networking. Where were you when Black Cat entered Peter Parker's life? There we go. All right. This was so funny. She-Hulk came out. Yeah, she came out. Yeah. 1980. The first one was released. 1989, they reintroduced the series because it, for whatever reason, was not successful. And they had some tongue-in-cheek humor there. They had She-Hulk on the front of the second volume set of books, threatening to come to your house and tear up all your X-Men comic books if you didn't buy her book this time. Yeah, here's another nice little key. Nova #1. Let's get in on it. Wait, on this side over here. Yeah, let's get that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. That's going to take it from a 9.8999 3.7 on a Tuesday and shoot it down to a 2.7. Wait. It's today Wednesday? Because I'm sensitive on Wednesdays. Yeah! Anyway, so here's this guy, Arak cracking games, learning about all the wonderful places he can visit. Once stumbled into a sign that said, "This is the server of the NSA. Cease and desist all for..." What? Whoa! Unplug, abort! Of course, this was a long time ago. Long time ago. Way back. What'd you guys think about the series? I thought it was very good in so many ways, and I think it has huge potential. Huge potential. Now that they've kind of more or less found their legs, if you will, with the second series. I do hope it continues. Mr. Rom, number 1. Mr. Rom, number 1. Okay. So, yeah. I've been on the forums of CBCS and CGC for probably close to a year now. I love a lot of the people I've met there. Great people. Really, really good people. In fact, quite a few of them I consider friends now. But I've, even on their own forums, I've continued to, speak out. Like, okay, great, we got that charge, shipping. What are we going to have next? DNA testing. We're going to wrap my book in a plutonium ball. I won't be able to look at it or even see the cover or the back. But in case of a nuclear attack, the book will survive, even though I won't. See, the problem here, the core problem, is these protecting slabs, these shells that we all said, wow, how cool in the beginning, right? Yeah, for Magic the Gathering cards, Yu-Gi-Oh, posters, things that you're going to see the front and back of it hanging on your wall anyway. But by the very nature of what it is, a comic book should not be slabbed. It just shouldn't. I know all the arguments. Come on, guys. At my age, really? I know all the arguments for the diamond industry as well. But if you've ever studied it, you'll know that it was just created in the last century. Century and a half. The market. Completely fake. Rooms of diamonds being controlled. How many are released into the wild? Got to control that flow. But I guarantee you, man, people particularly from the last 3 generations, you ask them, does he love you? Yeah, because he went to Jared's or Zales or whichever diamond commercial you subscribe to and listen to, because diamonds mean you love her. That's right. So when you get married, go out. The only way to really, really prove you love her is to buy her a $25,000 ring. You can honeymoon down at the Motel 6. Tom Bodell will leave the light on for you. And if you're lucky, real lucky, you can give her another one for her 25th and 50th or whatever the anniversary diamonds are. I don't know. Oh, wait. Yeah. No. Was it? Huh. I have to look at the list. So I'm going to show it just in case. And later on I'll look at the list because, like I said, those are either 1 or 2 of them bought just like they are because they contained the copy that I needed at the current state it was in. But the lion's share were gifts. Came in a lot that I bought, a huge lot, and it came with the lot. The death of Jean Grey happened before the internet took off in the 90s. Real strong. So imagine the outpour from the fans in postcards and mail-ins and all, because you couldn't just drop an email or fire them off over at IG or something. You had to send a physical letter or postcard saying, "Oh my God, you can't kill off Jean Grey," blah, 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 blah. Because we successfully did it with Jamie Summers after the Bionic Woman. Because in the original first, spoiler alert if you haven't seen a 55-year-old show, Jamie Summers died at the end of episode 2. And it stayed that way for, I don't know, almost a year. And then they re-aired episode 1 and 2 with an additional episode 3 and 4, bringing Jamie back part and parcel due to the tremendous outcry of phone calls, postcards, letters, and everything saying, "Hey, you can't kill off Jamie. You got to bring Jamie back." And that's when Michael entered the picture, and the whole, "Well, yeah, we stepped in at the last second, cryogenically saved her, and, well, she couldn't remember anything about her being engaged to Colonel Steve Austin, and we can't risk telling her," and set that whole thing up so she could bounce next door, have her own show, and then bring in Max the Wonder Dog. Not Wonder Dog, Bionic Dog. All right, so that's the books. They're all slabbed. You cheated and saw one score. My fault. So, if you want, write down your scores. And on the next episode, besides doing the Gloomhaven unboxing, we'll tear the scores off here and we'll see what CBCS graded these books. It has been my experience watching numerous people do this that and people that have just freshly entered into the industry or into the hobby, they'll send off their 30 books or their 20 books or whatever their sweet spot is. For us, it's 30. And invariably, they'll get so many 9.8s, 9.6, 9.4, and then they'll get so many other things. And it's always interesting to see that, because even the greenest rookie out there can pick out 30 books with at least one or two, that are going to pass mustard. If your name is Arak Zantara and you've been collecting since you were 4, and you're now over half a century, well, maybe not so much. Oh, by the way, last episode we were talking about Marvel Fanfare, and I've got quite a few over there, but I want to show you this gorgeous one with Black Widow. That's 12, and here's 11. I mean, if you look at this, it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous book. How could you not love that, right? The art, the stories, the no ads, the quality of paper, and way, way, way before they switched paper in the 90s, figuring out how to stop them from degrading so rapidly. All right, so anyway, we're going to pull the scores here, match them up, give out a prize, do the Gloomhaven. Man, I got mad, crazy love and respect for all you ninjas out there. So until next time at Arak's Archives, stay healthy, stay happy, stay hopeful, and stay alive. Take care.